Everyone flinched but her. I knew right then, this wasn't her first war. Not when the woman screamed, not when the permit tore, not when a jagged edge fluttered to the sidewalk. The neighbors stared, some stepped back, one filmed, quietly. The red hat leaned in, mouth foaming. "You think you're special?" Her voice cracked. Riley didn't. She just looked. Not a glare, just a scan. One face, two faces, a phone, a clipboard, the seal from City Hall ripped in half. Then Riley blinked, turned, walked. The woman was still yelling. Riley was already counting. Riley didn't keep the house because she liked it. She kept it because of a promise. Written in blue ink, shaky cursive, at the bottom of her mother's will. No notary stamp, no legal clause, just a line. If anyone tries to take it from you, remind them I built it with a chalkboard and 2 hands. Riley was 12 when the furnace broke. Her mother fixed it with pliers, a flashlight, and a book on thermodynamics from the middle school library. That night, they had soup in the sweaters, no heat. But they laughed. That porch post, the one Riley touched before walking inside, still smelled faintly of sandalwood and rain. The same post her mom had leaned on while waiting for the school bus. The same one she scraped clean every spring, even after the arthritis came. They took the nameplate down last week. Didn't ask, didn't leave it. Just unbolted it like it meant nothing. Riley found a splinter from it under the gutter, half painted, still chipped at the corner. She ran her thumb across it, then slid it into the mailbox. No one saw. That wasn't defiance. That was record keeping. Her mother taught here, 4th grade. Half the neighborhood probably learned fractions from her. Now they walk by like they don't remember. Riley does. That broken iron chair in the yard, it's still there. One leg bent, sunk into the earth. No one moved it, no one sat since. But someone used to. Every Tuesday, reading the paper, sipping weak coffee. Riley never sat there. She just watched from the screen door. They say she's cold, distant. But they didn't hear what her mom told her after the last argument at City Hall. Don't outshout them, outlast them. So she's not here to win a fight. She's here to protect a boundary, not drawn in ink, but memory, time, touch. And the moment they crossed it, that's when she stopped being polite. Wednesday morning, 6:42 a.m. The sky was still colorless. A single piece of paper, a 4, printed, laminated, was pressed flat against Riley's front door. Held there for a second, smooth corner to corner, then stapled. Twice. Notice of HOA violation. Paint tone not compliant with regulation 4.2.1. No knock, no doorbell, no warning. The woman didn't even glance inside, just uncapped a red pen, signed with flair, tapped the porch column once, like a judge ending a trial, and walked away. Riley stood behind the curtain, didn't breathe, didn't move. The sun hit the paper in a way that made the red ink look like blood. Right beneath it, in smaller handwriting, "Please don't repeat the mistakes of the last generation." That line. 8 years ago, someone whispered it to her mother. Riley remembered every syllable. She was holding a grocery bag when it happened. Eggs cracked in the bottom. Now, the same words were printed on government-weight paper and nailed to her front door. She didn't tear it down, didn't touch it. She stepped out barefoot, took one photo, then another, wider, capturing the whole doorway, timestamp included. She emailed them to herself. Subject line, pattern, phase 1. The woman was halfway down the sidewalk, khaki pants, clean white sneakers, not a single blade of wet grass sticking. Her clipboard was covered in stickers. One read, "Fix the neighborhood." It looked friendly. It wasn't. Riley knew that clipboard. She'd seen it before. Once, years ago, resting on the back of a folding chair during an HOA vote her mother fought against and won. But this woman wasn't from back then. She was newer, louder, the kind who never learned the names, just the power structure. The sidewalk still smelled like last night's rain. Riley exhaled. She didn't blink at the threat, but her eyes paused at one detail. The font used on the notice was incorrect, not the HOA template. A subtle change. Illegal if it wasn't approved. She smiled. Barely. The game had started. She was just letting the other side make the first mistake. Maybe you've had that moment too, when someone crossed a line and you stayed quiet, because silence was smarter. I've been there. You don't forget how it feels, not the words, not the weight of staying calm. If stories like this stay with you, you're welcome to stay with us. 3 days passed, no emails from Riley, no complaint, no appeal filed. But at 5:42 a.m., her porch light flicked on. She stepped outside with a bucket of water and a wire brush. The wood sign above the mailbox had faded, letters sunk deep from rain and years. She scrubbed slowly. Shaw emerged again, carved by hand, left untouched since 1978. At 6:03, she swept the sidewalk, picked up 2 broken bits of brick, set them gently beside the rose bush. At 6:11, a single email was sent. Subject: paint update, safety compliance. 2. Entire HOA board. CC: general neighborhood list. Her message was short. To prevent confusion and ensure safety, I'll be reapplying the exterior paint layer, still using the original 2009 approved color code, attached below per updated guidelines from the amended bylaws. She attached 2 files. One was a scan of the 2009 HOA revision. The second, a city seal-stamped document signed by her mother 12 years back. No replies, but one reader paused. Gabe, the retired attorney from house number 12, hovered over the attachment. He hadn't seen that file in over a decade. His coffee cooled. He didn't. Riley closed her laptop, slid a printed copy of the 2009 revision into a manila folder, wrote one word on the tab: Phase 2. Inside the dining room cabinet, behind a stack of recipe cards, sat the original bylaws binder. She didn't open it. She didn't need to. She remembered every line her mother had marked with blue highlighter, especially the part Cynthia had conveniently forgotten. No policy override may negate a standing clause without formal repeal vote and 60-day notice. That never happened. At 7:12, the HOA's automated system pinged back. Due to administrative backlog, we are only responding to requests related to the 2021 HOA revision set. Riley highlighted one line in that message, saved it, tagged Evidence A. Later that morning, as she reattached the wooden nameplate, a boy rode by on a scooter. He slowed, pointed. That your name? It looks kinda old, but cool. Riley didn't look up. It's old, she said, because it's right. He nodded and kept writing. Cynthia hadn't seen the email yet, but she would. And when she did, she'd believe it was just compliance. Riley knew better. She wasn't asking for space. She was redrawing the map. One signature, one timestamp at a time. The chairs were plastic. No snacks, no small talk. Just one folding table and 7 stiff necks. Cynthia stood in the center, clipboard in hand, her voice sharp, practiced. This shade is not compliant with Section 4.2.1. We've all seen it. Riley sat in the back. Didn't shift, didn't blink. She just raised her hand, once, when the room paused. From her tote bag, she pulled out a faded color sheet. Edges curled, ink slightly bled. Stamped, HOA revision, 2009. She passed it forward. Gabe, house number 12, took it, adjusted his glasses. He squinted, then nodded. I believe Clause B12 allows original codes if not discontinued. She has the original code. The air changed, not loud, but something tilted. Cynthia froze for a beat, then leaned forward. I've never seen that version. Why didn't you submit the update? Riley spoke clearly, no anger, no rise. I didn't update, she said, because I never stepped away from what was right. Silence, not awkward, just cold enough to sting. Cynthia's lip curled. Everyone here knows the new bylaws. You can't just live in the past. You're right, Riley replied. This isn't a museum. She turned her gaze to the room. But it's not a battlefield either. From the side, an older woman, house number 9, shifted. Her eyes moved from Riley to Cynthia. Slowly, sharply. Gabe cleared his throat, folded the paper. I'd like to see the vote count from the repeal meeting, he said. If we're going to discuss compliance, we should start there. Cynthia didn't answer. Someone coughed. A man in a flannel jacket, 2 rows up, muttered, "She's got a point." Cynthia gripped her clipboard tighter, her smile strained. Too many eyes were watching now. She looked like a teacher scolding a class. But no one was listening anymore. Riley didn't smirk, didn't move. In her bag, beneath the color sheet, sat a printed floor plan and minutes from a 2009 vote session her mother had chaired. She didn't need them. Not yet. The room didn't turn fully against Cynthia, but it leaned. And in these neighborhoods, leaning is the beginning of losing. She thought Riley was quiet because she was small, but silence was just the space for the next move to echo louder. 3 days later, an email hit every inbox in the neighborhood at 6:12 a.m. Subject line: Preliminary findings, unauthorized property modification. Sender: Cynthia. Riley Shaw has made structural exterior changes without proper HOA submission. This violates the 2022 renovation compliance policy. I recommend formal penalties be discussed by full council vote. At the bottom, a blurry screenshot of Riley's gate, zoomed in, date stamped. But the angle was wrong. It wasn't from the neighborhood's official camera, it was from the house next door. Allie, the 22-year-old nursing student who lived beside Riley, was the first to reply. "That's my footage. No one asked to use it." She stood up during the follow-up meeting, calm, angry in a smart way. "I also have the original clip." She submitted her request on the 12th. It was approved on the 18th. Work began on the 20th. Silence. A long pause. Then a man from the front row stood. "She doctored the evidence," he said. "That's fabrication. That's removal offense." Gabe spoke next, voice firmer this time. "I moved to temporarily suspend the HOA president's document authority, pending a formal review." Cynthia's mouth opened, but no sound came out. Then Riley stood. She didn't raise her voice, didn't accuse. She just reached into her tote, the same one from the last meeting, unfolded a document, held it up. "Article 17, she said. "It states, any bylaw updates must be signed by 3 uninvolved parties. The 2022 code only has 1. She looked around. "That makes it invalid." Then she folded it back. "I'm not here to win. I'm here to make sure what's right stays intact." No one applauded, but no one questioned it either. Allie sat down slowly. The man from the front crossed his arms. Cynthia didn't move. For the first time, she had no clipboard. Nothing to lean on. Just eyes. Watching? The paper Riley held? It was the same document her mother once fought to pass. The one Cynthia never thought anyone kept, but Riley had it. And now, so did everyone else. The crowd didn't cheer, but they started choosing sides, and Cynthia wasn't on theirs. Sunday morning, no cars, no leaf blowers, just light wind and dry leaves skipping the curb. Riley opened the gate herself. No workers, no replacements, no mailbox being leveled or repainted. Just her, kneeling, wiping dust off the old wooden nameplate. Shaw, still carved by hand, still from 1978. She mounted it back on the post, not perfectly straight. The lower corner still chipped, paint missing. She didn't fix that part, didn't need to. Gabe walked past with a folded newspaper under one arm. He didn't stop, but he tilted his chin in her direction. Allie was out front, spreading seed for the finches. One landed on the low fence, stared at Riley, and darted away. Nobody said Cynthia's name. The HOA group chat stayed silent for 2 whole days. Then, just before sunset, a single-line announcement appeared. Due to personal circumstances, the HOA president will be taking a 6-month leave. During this time, all decisions will require community consensus. No signatures, no arguments, no apologies. Riley closed her toolbox, latched it with a soft click, stood up. She didn't look at the neighbors, didn't wave, didn't wait. Just ran her fingers over the ink on her shoulder. The black coil of the ghost viper, half shaded, half healed. And stepped back inside. The screen door shut behind her with a soft hum. The nameplate stayed. Still a little crooked, still honest. Nobody clapped, but they noticed. Not because she won, but because something wrong had been corrected. Quietly, cleanly, without anyone being told what to feel. And in that, she didn't need to be admired, just not erased. Not everyone fights to win. Some just want no one to touch what they've guarded too long. The nameplate stayed crooked, not by mistake, but as a reminder. Some things are meant to weather, paint fades, corners chip. But meaning doesn't leave with time, not if someone stays to guard it. The loud ones forget this. They think control is volume, that silence means surrender. But real memory, real dignity, it moves without sound, like dust settling, like an old wind chime ringing once, when no one touches it. Like a mother's voice, still somewhere in the grain of wood. She didn't fix the chipped edge, didn't repaint the lettering, didn't claim victory. She just made sure no one rewrote what mattered, not with new rules, not with louder voices, not with fake courtesy dressed as order. There is power in knowing when to stand, when not to speak, when to press raccord instead of raising your voice. And sometimes, what stays crooked is what keeps us honest. The older we get, the less we seek to win. We just want what's sacred to be left untouched.